Hey, welcome back to Score on Business, and we're still with Alex Carter of WHITEBOX. So, Alex, talk to us a little bit about doing branding videos.
So, this is this is something that's pretty cool. That's happened recently, and by recently I mean the last 5 years or so. Is companies are starting to kind of change their outlook on branding and move it from, oh, let's just make a commercial, to let's make something that's going to last, that's going to be timeless. So, and that's really cool for me, somebody who wants to make film and make art, is companies are kind of getting on board with this. So what I mean by this is there's a couple of vodka companies, ironic, the vodka companies, but the vodka companies are purchasing these short films that are done by directors, and they're financing them, they're purchasing them, so whatever that.
And this film could be
about
anything.
it doesn't, it's not about vodka. It doesn't have to be about anything vodka related, but it could appeal to the client base that the vodka company has.
Right.
So whether that's the sophistication of the client base, whatever it may be, the film would appeal to that audience. And so they're purchasing these short films or whatever, and they're putting their name at the end. That's it. It's just, it's the film, whatever the direction of the creative mind behind it was, it's that film sponsored by vodka company. So this is cool for companies because art doesn't really have an expiration date. I mean, we're still looking at paintings from 500 years ago, from 1,000 years ago, from 2,000 years ago. We're still enamored by these pieces, and we hang them up in museums. Now, picture like the Mona Lisa, and it has Tito's vodka on the little plaque next to it. I mean, that's kind of what these companies are, this is the potential. It's an extreme example, of course, but
that doesn't change the fact that it's a good example.
Right. I mean, you see a branding video, you're like, very cool, I like that company, I like that video. You're not thinking about it in 5 years. You know, but people have movies that they see that are their favorite films, and they watch them until, like, for the rest of their life. They'll revisit that film.
You know, there's a commercial that's at least 20 years old. It may be older. It was IBM or EDS, and it was about cat herders, and you know, as a take on cowboys, but they're herding cats. Well, you know, of course you can't herd cats, but I still pull that video up and watch it. I go find it and watch it.
And great example, Apple. The 1984 Apple commercial. So I don't know how many people remember that, but Ridley Scott directed that commercial, and it was a short film, and it could have been an Academy Award nominated short film. Like, it was an Apple ad, and that's crazy. So people still watch that. I think you can go on YouTube. It's got 15 million something views, or probably more, but people still watch that because they created not a branding video, they created a piece of art and then put their branding on it.
People still go,
so
that makes a lot of sense.
It's a cool opportunity, and I think companies are just starting to realize, like, oh, this is actually a possibility. That's not right for everybody, of course. Obviously, some people just need their branding video that they can put some Facebook money behind, and that's fantastic. It's just the landscape is completely open right now, which is very cool for all parties involved.
So, tell us about some folks you've worked with and what their need was and how you helped them. So we've done several different things. We don't really have a specialty in video that we focus on. We worked with a client actually who he was in the previous NFL draft, and he wanted to create a piece of content that he would release to his followers and kind of his the people following his process. So he called on us, and we ended up making a documentary of the process from going before the draft to after the draft, and kind of what that looks like. Because you see the people, you see the names, and they pop up on ESPN, and you're like, oh, that's cool, but he has people who've been following him since high school, you know? And he wanted to be able to put out something that said, hey, look, this is what this process looks like that you've been following me on for so long. And so if people go to his website, for example, you know, they can see this.
They can see this thing that kind of show, and then 30 years from now, hopefully he's in the Hall of Fame, and he can go back and be like, look, this is what it looked like when I was drafted. So,
and so, you know, I don't know this client that you've had, but
what his deal is football.
Right.
And so I can only imagine that you were able to help him tell that story in a manner that was engaging, that people would watch.
Right. I mean, because we're speaking to his audience who wants to see what he's doing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So with that, it required us. We had 3 people working, and we followed him around with cameras for the day. And he went through his routine. We followed him around, and then we put that into a kind of a day in the life. But for other companies, we've done interviews, whether that's long form interviews or whether that's a short piece of social media content, or we've filmed events depending on what the client need would be. So you can pretty much put anything into video form. So you just have to decide, okay, is this the best way to communicate what I'm trying to communicate to my audience? And then if it is, I think video is a very valuable thing.
Well, video, I think video is just about a requirement
nowadays.
Now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because everybody has a smartphone, so everybody's watching video. They want to be. Nobody likes to sit and read through things anymore. They want it to be presented to them in a visual way.
Yeah.
And video is the best way to do that right now. It's the best way we have. And not to say it'll continue to be the best way, but it's always gonna stick around. I mean.
Yeah. It's hard for me right at the moment to think of something that would overtake video, but I'm sure, who knows?
Who knows? But I mean, still, we talked about earlier, there's still films from the 20s that are relevant today. So.
Oh, absolutely. Alex, thanks a million for being here.
No problem.
Ladies and gents, we will see you next week. Bye now.